What up, peeps? Mr.Bones back at you, and it's day 22 of 31 days of Hallowicked. And what we're talking about is 2016's Terrifier. Written and directed by Damien Leone, starring David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown. And then you have Jenna Cannell as Terror, Catherine Corcoran as Dawn, and Samantha Scafidi as Victoria. This is what we got after All Hallows Eve. Everybody loved art. They wanted more art, so Damien gave us more art. So basically, you meet Tara and Dawn. They have just left a Halloween party, and they're drunk, or a little tipsy, and going out to their car, and they see Art standing across the sidewalk, being all creepy and waving at them, and the blonde just thinks he's funny, and the other one's freaked out by him, and they decide to, instead of leaving, to go to the local little pizza pub place and grab a slice. I guess it's to see if they can sober up a little bit before they leave. And he comes into the pizza parlor too, sits across from them, waving and acting all weird and doing lots of this shit and acting weird and freaking Tara out. And Dawn thinks he's fucking funny. She thinks everything's funny, and she goes over and sits on his lap and says, "Can I get a selfie?" and pulls his face over and takes a selfie with him, and he never budges. It just keeps staring at Tara. He's fixated on her for some reason. And he goes over to the quarter machine and gets a plastic ring and goes over and gets on his knee and reaches it to her. She doesn't take it, but he picks up her hand and puts it on her finger. And then he goes to the bathroom. And then the main guy that works there comes out and kicks him out of the place, yelling about him messing up the bathroom, because he decided to go in there and shit all over the place and write the word art on the wall with a shit. So he gets kicked out. And then the girls, after they're done with their pizzas, they go back to their car, and it has a flat tire, who obviously Art did it. And Tara has to pee really bad, and she's tripping out about that. And then she sees a guy come out of this big ass building for a smoke break. He's fumigating the place for bugs, and she goes out and begs him to let her go in there and use the restroom, and he does. And he leaves her on his own and goes back to work. And Dawn is sitting there waiting for Tara, and she hears on the phone news about a clown murdering two people in a pizza pub, which was the one they were just in. And she's like, oh my god. And she hears the door open and close. She thinks it's Tara and looks over, and it's Art doing his creepy thing. And then you go back to Tara in the building. You know that Dawn got killed, or something happened to her. So Tara's getting ready to leave, and there is Art waving at her and being all creepy and flashes a scalpel, so she runs into a room to hide. Then it just becomes a big cat and mouse chase game, and he eventually catches her and ties her to a chair, and then goes over and pulls this drape down to unveil Dawn, her friend, the blonde girl, hung upside down. And this is probably the craziest, goriest kill in the movie. He decides to take out a rusty hacksaw. Oh yeah, she's nude. He has her stripped down, upside down. And he proceeds to saw her from vagina all the way down to her skull and through her skull and cut her in two. And then after he's done, he takes her phone, smiles, and takes a selfie with her. And Tara gets loose, takes off running. Basically, without trying to run through scene for scene of the whole movie, it's him chasing her, trying to torture and kill her. And there's a homeless lady living in there holding a baby doll. Thinks it's a real baby. He eventually kills her too. And eventually, I forgot to mention when they were outside with the flat, she calls her younger sister, Victoria, to come pick her up. So eventually she shows up, finds her way into the building, and ends up getting chased by Art too. The building is an old abandoned office building, and it's really cruddy and grungy and gritty and dirty, and this is just a real like gritty and dirty and gory and bloody movie. Highly recommend anybody who likes anything I've said to check it out. It's an awesome movie, and there is now a part two. More art was in high demand, and Damien Leon has made a part two. It's in theaters now. I haven't seen it yet, but I have heard that it's more over the top than this one, and they tried to see if they could top the crazy ass kills in this one and the next one. I've heard mention of dicks being cut off, and I don't know what else, but I heard they tried to top the first movie. Anyway, that's what I watch. Highly recommend it. Peace.